Hello everybody. Well, I've been asked the same question several times, so I decided to create a little video. The ego is very powerful, and the ego is very much like a virus. And every day we have the opportunity to turn the density of our ego back into the fluidity of love, of consciousness. I very much understand this now, but at the time, I did not understand that. And so my journey of discovering these beautiful plant medicines to reveal who I really am versus the false illusion and the constant misinterpretation of the ego. So for me, I was very disappointed with many things in life, and I felt I needed a very different interpretation, even though I meditated a lot. The false interpretation of my being was overshadowed. The ego loves to overshadow that we're disappointed. I mean, the ego very much likes the concept that we are disappointed or that we are confused, and we're not confused, but the ego would like to give us this interpretation that we are confused. My anger had very much overshadowed parts of my life, but it certainly influenced me, and I was not content with this layer of anger that didn't serve me. And it was predominant, it was there, it showed itself. And so the other part that made me very much seek out the medicine was the constant chatting in my mind, and the repeating and the looping and the repetitive behavior and the repetitive concerns and worries that I knew really wasn't the truth of who I am. You know, many of these things materialize themselves in different ways in how we're disappointed with loved ones, with family, with our job, with the things in which we worry about. So the ego resets itself every 7 seconds, and every 7 seconds it gives us a false interpretation of who we are. So what led me to the medicine was, could I experience a true sense of my own soul's identity without the overlay of the ego? Not everyone that decides that they're going to do medicine is going to see the truth, because the reality is it depends on the thickness of your ego. But my heart was so full of gratitude and so full of grace that this gratitude allowed me gradually to see the truth of the love in which I really am, and not the false interpretations and the illusions of the ego. And so what led me to these medicines was a deep desire for self-realization and self-discovery. But it also determines on the amount of consciousness you're bringing to the table. So if you are allowing your ego and you're allowing your mind to become very predominant as you're entering into this journey, then that is what you're going to experience. But if you have no expectations and you are full of love and you are deeply grateful and gratitude drives your journey, your experience is very different. So this is what brought me to wanting to learn more and to facilitate evenings of medicine.